Right. Hi, everyone. We are live, not at the usual time, but we are at 9 o'clock today, and it's a request that was made by many to go live at 9 o'clock because everyone can hear MOCT live with Dr. Hashan Travis Sapakantri. So now you know how to come for this. All you got to know is that if you want to showcase your talent, here is the place for you to do it. So we leave a footprint. MOCT means in Slovakian can. The word can depicts MOCT. So it's a Slovakian word. It was a newspaper that I did, but with regards to the pandemic, I thought, okay, I should go on streaming. So here we are, streaming to you live from Colombo, from Studio 73, with MOCT Live Talk with a professional, an outstanding person. So you know how to come. If you are like that, if you are extremely outward bound, if you want to showcase your talent, MOCT is there for you. Only thing you have to do is to just give me a call or come in my Facebook or via my LinkedIn and tell me, look, I'm ready to go for it. Right. So today we have a fascinating and an eminent character. Well, again, another lady on the show. I'm not going to brief you anything about her, but I was extremely excited. Physics became her life, right? So I asked the question, Doctor, why physics? And she gave me a very comprehensive answer, which went right into my brain, into my brain cells. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. And let me give a brief background about her. She's Dr. Chathurie Nupearchchi. She's going to talk to us live very soon. She's there at the studios. Physics visiting lecturer, GISM campus, researcher in Open University of Sri Lanka. So it's not an easy character. It's not an easy task to do, right? So let's invite this dynamic and versatile professional Dr. Chathurie Nupearchchi. Here she comes.
Hello, everyone. Good evening,
Right.
Dr. Travis. How are you?
Good evening to you. Good evening to you. The vibrant, this is the personality that I was talking about, the vibrant, eminent Dr. Chathurie Nupearachchi. So I'm not going to give any more introduction about yourself. Um, I want to know in one line, Doctor, who are you?
Now, in one line, I can say I'm a daughter, I'm a wife, I'm a mom who is a physicist by profession.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Right. If I elaborate more with regards to um, who you are, right? What kind of a person are you when you
Mm,
were a child? Uh, say at the age of 8 or at the age of 12, at the age of 15. What kind of a person are you? Are you a serious character or a very studious character or a very
yes.
naughty character or who you are?
A mixture of both, but most of the time I'm a little bit serious. At that time,
Uh-huh.
also, I was a serious character. I'm kind of like a sit and study girl who is good in studies, and I wanted to excel in studies.
Okay.
So, likewise, I'm a little bit serious now as well. But
Okay. That's good. That's good. So, when was the first time you thought that you should get into physics?
Mm, well, to be honest, my story is little bit unorthodox. Actually, I
Okay.
did my A levels three times in biostream, and
Okay.
I couldn't I couldn't get into a conventional university in Sri Lanka. So
Okay.
I thought, okay, I should start my academic journey with the Open University of Sri Lanka,
Okay.
and from the first year of my undergraduate days, I felt okay now, even though I did biostream, I tend to see the beauty of physics in a different perspective. And my perception was saying, okay, why don't you try physics as your bread and butter in the near future? Then I was like, okay, let's have a go at it. No problem, because I really fell in love with physics. Actually, if you can say, physics is my first love. So that's how the journey began.
Okay, doctor, when you were a kid, say at the age of 8 or 10, you really dreamt of being a physicist?
No.
No,
I was,
exactly.
yeah, I really wanted to be a medical doctor. That
Okay.
was not from the pressure from the background or something. I really wanted to be a doctor, in the sense, medical doctor. I really wanted to treat patients, and like I had that kind of soft side in me that I should
More
treat.
towards bio side.
Yes, and now as the door was closed due to the three attempts of A levels, I said, "Oh," I thought to myself, "Okay, now one door is closed. I have to keep on knocking the other doors. So let's have a go at it." So that's how the physics came into my life, even after so many years, because I was determined to be a medical doctor, to be honest. And then it was really a bit hard, like psychological also, because the career shift. Okay, forget about
Hmm.
being a doctor, just think of something else. Honestly, Dr. Travis, I didn't have plan A, B, C or something like that. Think of the new generation thing, because I was so determined, so focused to be a medical doctor. And when that thing was closed, and I was like, oh my God, my world is going to collapse. What am I going to do? And I was kind of in a dilemma, what to do next. And then only, okay, I thought, okay, I'm going to do it, excel in physics.
Wow. So, meaning um, anyone can have dreams, but there's one particular point it changed the entire journey,
Yeah.
right? Because there are kids watching this, doctor. That's why
Mhm.
I'm asking, because
Mm.
parents pressure, be a doctor, a lawyer, a pilot, or, but they'll, I mean, there's a person whom I know very closely. She studied, that's her daughter. She
Mhm.
studied bioscience,
Right.
and at a particular time, she really was excelling in maths, and
Hmm.
she told the father, look, I don't think I am a bio character, but I am more into maths. So she
Right.
changed the stream and ended up becoming an engineer,
Right.
right?
Cool.
So
Hmm.
there are kids at the age of 8 or 10 or 12, especially at the age of 12, they try to earmark, okay, I'm going to take the science route. But there's a
Yep.
particular moment which changed the entire track, and that
Yes.
happened to you as well.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Now I believe.
anything.
Now I believe, like, what I felt was like, I had the desire. Okay, I had the desire, but the thing is, I found out, okay, one after certain amount of time, I found, okay, I don't have the talent to become a doctor. So, I mean, I believe there should be the desire, the talent, and also the market if you are going to choose some sort of a profession. So in my case, the desire was there, but the market was there, but I didn't have the talent to become a doctor. So that realization took me some time. Then only I adjusted my career into physics.
Okay, brilliant. So what's your biggest strength so far?
Mm, biggest strength, I will mention two things, Dr. Travis. Because as a person, I show great attention in detail, and I'm very careful and precise. And in short, you can say I'm a meticulous person. And people in and around me knows that I cannot concentrate and do one work at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm kind of a multitasker. So being meticulous and being a multitasker have been one of some of my strengths, actually.
Okay, you said your first love was anyway physics, and why physics?
My throwback question will be, why not physics?
Wow.
because
Okay.
because honestly, this question has been one of the repetitive questions that I get from the society. And Dr. Travis, I believe it's because of the less female representation in my subject area.
Okay.
Because if
Good.
you, for example, if you look at the university system of Sri Lanka,
Mm-hmm.
the physics departments in Sri Lanka, senior lecturer or professor grade level academic females are little less. And of course, this is a male dominated area, and there is no gender equality in physics at the moment in Sri Lanka. But I'm, as a STEM activist, promote physics popularization in both genders. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe, like, even if you are a male or a female, if you can if you can balance your career and life, physics is just another subject, and it's up to you. It's up to your personality, your skills and experience, and how you balance it. And I believe this is a challenging subject, and that's why many of the female students who learn physics do not go further, like in career progression, further education, and
Mm-hmm.
so on, because I think they are a little bit reluctant to take and face these challenges once you move ahead in this field. So that's maybe the reason I believe there is less female representation in my
Mm-hmm.
area.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow. What a description. Um, Doctor, I mean, people are watching this. There are questions coming into my WhatsApp as well.
Hmm.
Um, a personality like you, a vibrant personality, I mean, very meticulously planned, very pick and span personality. But, I mean, you would have easily selected an airline or to become a, air hostess or a very vibrant career. But you thought you should go into this kind of element. And when I was talking to you on the other day, you said there are two types of physicists, right?
Yep.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yes. Normally, physicists are divided into two groups, Dr. Travis. Like,
Okay.
one is theoretical physics, a
Okay.
physicist, and the second one is experimental physicists. Theoretical physicists are the people who are indulged in mathematics, and they think in mathematical terms. I'm telling it in a very simplified manner. So they
Okay.
think of concepts, models, everything, and they try to put it up into equations. And they are like in a world of thinking mathematically. They are trying to build up stuff. And
Okay.
we as experiment, I'm an experimental physicist. We as experimental physicists, we what we try to do is we try to prove what the theoretical physicists have shown, and we
Uh-huh.
try our research habitat is our laboratory, and we can stay forever if all our basic necessities are satisfied. So what we try to do is we try to do the application part. The
Hmm.
theoretical physicists, they do the thinking part, so we don't have to worry
Okay.
about that. We are the one who is doing the hard work, trying to prove what they have said is correct. So those are the main difficult differences between a theoretical physicist and a experimental physicist.
Right. Doctor, then into which category that the famous physicist Albert Einstein falls into?
He has actually shown the basic principles of relativity. So in 1921, he won the Nobel Prize. He's some kind of a theoretical physicist because he thought about these concepts and gave it. So it was after some time people tend to look into these matter, and then they went to do some experiments. Not only Albert Einstein, how about Stephen Hawkins? Those people, like, they were like theoretical ones. So I mean, most of
Okay.
the time the Nobel Prizes are won by theoretical physicists because they are the one who gave the idea to the world. And
Hmm.
we as experimental physics, we are like behind the scene, okay, doing the hard work.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, why is the practical personality always gets the second place, and why the is it because that they create a theory, they prove a point, and then they take the center stage? But why can't the practical personality like you can take the center stage?
I believe it's depending on the publication and the research scope that they are involved with. I
Okay.
mean, if you take a look at some of the, I mean, there are, I mean, you mentioned about the gender equality thing. I mean, there are four Nobel Prize winners in physics, females,
Right.
starting from Marie Curie, Madame Marie
Okay.
Curie in 1903, and
Wow. Okay.
1963 Maria Goeppert Mayer, and Donna Strickland in 2018, and recently 2020 Andrea Gay. So
Okay.
all of these, I mean, the gender is not an issue. Only the thing is what you find it and how you present it in a research paper and do the
Okay.
publication. And it's all about knowledge marketing, Dr. Travis, in physics.
Okay. So it's heading a different, it heading towards a different direction, and to keep on talking to you, right? Doctor, I'm very curious now. You open up my mind because I love physics. For your information, because I believe everything around us is based on physics. The more you study, the more you tend to love the whole thing. You're right, absolutely right. And kids, if you're watching this program, you can see a professor. I'll call you the professor because you basically
No, don't call me because I'm not yet a professor.
right. Okay. See, that is my question. Now, a personality like you, why the world? I mean, there are lots of Dr. Chaturis around in this world, right? And you yourself said that, well, one, I mean, someone can say, okay, they always do what there's a theory being invented, and they do the practicals and see whether it works. But you said that no, it's not the case. There are four female practical physicists have been won Nobel prizes, the peace prize for their finding, like great personalities like Marie Curie. My question is, if you want to go there, if Sri Lanka wants to take the center stage with regards to practical side of uh, what will be the mission?
Hmm. The first thing is the infrastructural issues, Dr. Travis, like to be in that standard. That's why a lot of people are going out of the country to explore the possibilities in physics. In some
Oh,
of the
okay.
countries like USA, Scandinavian countries, European
Uh-huh.
countries, because they
Okay.
have that research and development facilities that will facilitate to do whatever the latest developments are about.
Okay.
So that's the main issue, the infrastructural issue. And
Mm-hmm.
also it's about how you do your research. That
Mm-hmm.
it all depends upon your supervisor as well. Now once you do it, there are certain areas that we can also go according to the scope of Sri Lankan research facilities and so on. So like if you want to plan ahead and like go for a bigger picture, bigger goal, so what I can say is that like you should have a kind of a blueprint. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. In
Okay.
physics also, it is much more branched.
Right.
Not now. I'm into condensed matter physics. So there
Right.
are certain areas like classical physics sides and modern physics sides that you
Right.
would like
Okay.
to evolve as a physicist. So like first of all you need to find out which area that I'm going to evolve as a physicist, and
Mm-hmm.
then find out, okay, what are the good countries or the universities that are really they are really helping you towards in research facilities, the research publication side, the good supervisors, professors, and so on. Then once you do your homework, then why don't you apply for a scholarship, or you can go and do your postgraduate or doctorate stuff, doctorate research work in abroad, and then try to build up connections and mark your territory.
Right. Okay. I'm going to leave you alone. I want you to describe a project or something that you have done successfully, because the audience is watching, and there is a chat coming through right now. Yeah, people are watching you right now. So I want you to explain, because this particular program, Dr. Chaudhary, will be remain in what you call Facebook, LinkedIn, especially in YouTube. So your piece, whatever you say right now, will remain in there forever. If
Yeah.
someone wants to refer to physics, someone wants to take advice, they can refer to the little 1 hour piece that you and I do today, right? So I'm going to give the studio to you full, right? I'm going to move away from the frame, but I can see you, I can hear you. Can you explain a project that you undertook and reach the success, the victory that you had? I mean, the Sri Lanka has to know what you have done.
Mm, what I can say is like it's about my PhD project. My PhD project centered around biobatteries. So that is, we try to apply banana pith as an electrolytic media uh, to build up biobatteries in the world. But in this case, we have used Ambung banana variety, which is readily found in Sri Lanka.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have done, like we have checked some of the battery combinations.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit noise is going on background. Uh, there's a we checked
Okay, can you hear me now?
yes, now right. Okay.
Okay,
We
right, go
checked
on. Yeah.
different electrode combinations, Dr. Travis, and out of some of the combinations, I found, and not only myself and my supervisor, Professor Susiro Pereira, we have found a specific electrode combinations that is based on carbon and mild steel will act as a rechargeable biobattery in Sri Lanka. And
Right.
to mention, in back in 2020, we were able to get the patent for our university, and we too
Wow.
remain as the principal investigators. So
Wow.
honestly, I mean, due to this pandemic, we couldn't do much more further research work as my residual PhD work.
Okay.
But right now, like, I mean, we have intentions to commercialize this into a bio rechargeable battery in the near future.
Wow. Wow. That's one piece of what you have done so far, is it? That's one piece. So, people, hear her out. Um, this is a major innovation, and it's all depends on research, and a lot of hard work goes into it, right? My next question is, um, Doctor, the people who are coming up to select this profession, or this particular stream, what is your advice for the young guys who are doing A levels or O levels, for the kids? What's your advice?
I mean, how to select, why should I select this profession?
Correct. Yeah. Because,
Okay.
I mean, you as a personality, like I said before, without any pressure, you thought, okay, I should go and do physics. But there are people loves physics, but they're scared to come. Okay, because there was a question coming to me asked from you, how to get rid of that scariness, or what's your
Okay.
advice?
Right. Now, I will tell first of all why physics in the sense. I mean, physics actually think. I mean, it teaches you to think in a different way. I mean, not the surface meaning. It shows your. I mean, it sharpens up your analytical skills and also your critical thinking. And also, if you take a look at your daily lives, they
It's
revolve
all
around
about physics.
physics. Yeah. And I believe, like, now the visual and the physical reality shown by mathematics can be applied through physics, and it explores the possibilities, the boundaries, and it challenges us to keep on searching and pushing the boundaries of what we have known so far.
Wow.
And what I love
Okay.
about physics is about it's because it's challenging, Dr. Travis. I mean, continuing from the whole critical thinking idea, physics also challenges every part of your brain. I mean, it's not about plugging numbers here and there. There's a lot about it, and you have to apply a certain numbers, and not only that, you have to remember which equation that we have to put, and then you
Hmm.
have to finally solve the practical application. And physics is a wonderful subject that is a good workout to your brain. And what I
Highly
can say,
practical. Highly
yes,
practical.
and what I can say regarding the students, still there's a little bit noise going on in the background, Dr. Travis.
Yes,
Uh,
I
and
hear that. That
yeah,
happens when you live.
okay, okay,
There's a little issue coming up.
okay. No,
It'll get okay.
okay. And normally, what now the students, for students who are like really interested in physics, what I have found is they find it extremely hard to memorize the theories, laws,
Exactly. Yeah.
formulas,
Yeah.
and they try to grasp it and try to memorize it. That should not happen. And
Exactly.
most importantly, I mean, you should understand the theory or the principle or the formula, but you should have the skill to apply the theoretical knowledge into problem solving practice. So that is where our most of students lack, and they say, okay, physics is hard, I cannot do it. I believe that's the reason.
Exactly. Exactly, you're spot on, doctor, because that's how it's been fed to the brain. That's how it's been fed to young kids' brains, saying that physics is absolutely difficult. It has maths, it has this, it's a lot of research. So it's been fed wrongly
Mm,
to the mind of a kid, right? But now look at, I mean, people just listen to her and take her advice. It's the most interesting topic. I mean, everything like bio to chemistry to what do you call zoology, everything is interesting.
mm,
Physics is also interesting if you know the right way to handle it, if you
okay.
know the meaning. That's what she's saying, you know. So the question, the answer to the question being posed to me, the answer to your question is very, very simple. It's not hard. It's you have made it hard for you, right? And I mean, she also has crossed the same age, where I mean, as a kid, and she has selected the best path. And look at her; she's enjoying it. She's enjoying her life. Doctor, what is quantum physics?
Quantum physics, I mean, the thing is, we have tried to learn physics into two subjects, that is classical physics and modern physics. So classical physics is the one that we learn in our O levels time about Newtonian mechanics, the light, electricity, sound, and so on. So like back in after the photoelectric effect introduction, they found the energy can be considered as energy packets. So they are known as
Hmm.
photons. So with the photoelectric effect, it
Hmm.
becomes now the energy can be much more into a simpler version. That means energy
Hmm.
can be quantized. So that is
Hmm.
why the famous equation of Max Planck, E equals hf, was born. And how you go into minute details, that is, you divide the mass into little minute amounts, and then that is, you are taking about the quantum size of it. So
Okay.
the classical physics is somewhat in contradictory with the quantum physics.
Okay.
Quantum
Okay.
physics is based on the modern physics section.
Okay. All right. So that's the answer. She's extremely clear. This is why you should follow physics. Physics gives you clarity, right? I have a I have a boss who's a physics maestro, and to work with him is you have to be extremely clear,
Okay.
and people, you can see how she's described. We thought it's a very vast subject, but she described in within seconds, you know, this is how it works.
No, to
So
be honest, Dr. Travis, like I have been in this higher education sector for 12 years, and can you guess my tagline is? What is my tagline? My tagline is "Life is more beautiful with physics." So I try to prove that to my students. That's the main
you
thing.
are you are you are proving that, because life is beautiful with physics is absolutely, you are
More
proving it
beautiful,
more
more
beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah. So people who are watching it, you can see, uh, for us it's maybe a very hard topic. That's how we've been fed, so you need to take that off from your head. It's no longer a tough assignment. Physics is one of the beautiful subjects in the world, and if you become a physicist, or if you started loving physics, you know what's happening around you, and also you will be very clear in what you want and what you expect from others to do, because you know what's going to happen next, because you know the reaction, you know how it happens. So this is why I wanted her to come and tell, because I was looking for a physicist to explain this beauty of the whole thing. Because if I had the chance to study all this, I would have. Well, I'm learning from you as well, doctor. Um, how after A levels, say if someone wants to do private studies in a university with regards to physics, what are the avenues, doctor? What are the universities in Sri Lanka that provides physical, how do you call, physics education? Um, if you can elaborate on that,
You mean the private universities? Am I correct?
you can elaborate, you can advise as to how a person can select to come into your stream.
Okay. Now the thing is, Dr. Travis. Now, once you should do your first degree, BSc degree, and
Right.
in the governmental universities, you can either specialize physics as a
Right.
subject if
Okay.
you really like
Right.
it. So it will take more than after 3 years, you can specialize the subject by using another one more year. That is 4 year degree in a conventional university. So after that, if you depending on your result, I mean, if you get a first class, then you can go on to your postgraduate work. And even some students, they don't like to do a special degree. Say they want to do a general degree in 3 years, and if
Right.
you get a first class in a general degree in 3 years, you can go to an MPhil and then move on to PhD. That's how I went my academic journey. But those who, I mean, if you do a general degree and if you don't have a class, or if you have a second class, upper or lower, but then also you can go on and to excel physics. You can do a
Right.
master's in either Sri Lanka or abroad.
Okay.
But if you want to do it in Sri Lanka, there are certain selection exams from some of the universities that offer good physics postgraduate programs.
Right.
Um, and if you want to go abroad, there are certain other examinations that you have to sit and study. They are like SAT, TOEFL, because that depends on the country that you wish to go and the university requirements that you really wanted to apply.
Right.
And so once you satisfy those, you can start your journey from your postgraduate and then go for your PhD. But the thing is, you have to decide which physics area. Okay, if I say I wanted to do physics, which physics area? Now you have to be specific because it's a
Okay.
very branched area, as I mentioned, from classical physics to modern physics. There are so many branches in physics, and also I have seen a tendency now. A lot of hybrid subjects are coming, like engineering plus physics,
Correct.
engineering physics,
Yeah.
medical medicine and physics, medical physics,
Physics.
biology and physics, biophysics. So there are some of the hybrid subjects that are emerging. So if you
Hmm.
really want, you have to first find out, okay, what sort of physics area that I would really love to specialize on. Then, according to your preference, you can check for the particular university or write to a good academic in that area and try to win a scholarship, and continue your academic journey in abroad. And you can do the same in Sri Lanka as well.
Okay. Doctor, any people that you have to mention that who's been with you for research, and any particular figures that you need to mention that who has helped you, who's in your team.
I have to first of all thank my BSc research supervisors. I got three academics. First one is Professor Rohan Fernando, who is the Dean of Faculty of Natural Sciences, Open University of Sri Lanka right now, and Dr. Nishant Attanayaka of Uvavellasa University, and Mr.
Hmm.
Mahinda Prematilaka in Water Supply and Drainage Board,
Hmm.
Ratmalana, for my
Hmm.
BSc project. And for my MPhil and PhD, I have a big thank you for my supervisor, Professor Susira Pereira,
Hmm.
in the Department of Physics, Open University of Sri Lanka, because these are the people who like molded me into a certain person. And thanks to them, I stand where am I today.
Wow, a powerful set. The names, the mention that you have mentioned. I'm so honored to interview you, Doctor, because it's not easy to handle a personality like you, a national asset. But my question is, why not? Why this caliber of people are not highlighted?
You mean in Sri Lanka or
Sri Lanka, yeah,
Mm, I believe now in my case, like I really wanted to go, I really wanted to finish my research work and I have
right.
certain plans. But the thing is, my choice is to start something of my own.
Hmm.
And I really don't wanted to, I mean, because currently I am involved in private universities, doing my physics lectures in visiting wise. And
Right,
research wise, I'm engaged as a freelance researcher, and I wanted to do my postdoctoral research activities in the Open University of Sri Lanka to continue where I have stopped in my PhD. That's what I said. I have some residual PhD work
right,
to commercialize my biobattery with my supervisor, Professor Susira Pereira. And the thing is, I prefer to do something of my own, like as a kind of a person who is popularizing physics, because I'm a STEM activist. I hope
Hmm.
what you know, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So I'm in the area of STEM because I don't only concentrate on physics. I
Right.
support both genders,
Right.
like what you call males and females. Why don't you go into uh, further studies and try to find out the beauty in what you like? Because most of the
Right.
time, Dr. Travis, what I have noticed, especially physicists, as I early mentioned, ladies, and they have stuck. I mean, they are like in a comfort zone. Okay, once I
Hmm.
graduate, I'll go to teaching. I mean, teaching is a very honorable career, but if you want to do more, so better to do some more higher studies and try to do whatever you like. But while teaching, you can go on certain. I mean, without
Exactly.
consider without concentrating on teaching, lecturing, there are certain areas. So because I am into educational consultancy
Right.
as well, so currently I'm in a project with Professor Rosa and SciTech Publishing uh,
Oh, okay.
Corporation. And the thing
Okay.
is, I cannot reveal much more according to the contract, but it will be there by December to aid our A-level students in English media.
Right.
So like we are like wondering, okay, what we can do. So like I believe if you are a freelancer, you can do more. Like
Right.
that's according to my capacity, because I really enjoy my freedom, and I cannot be stick to like a 9 to 5 job, because I really need my freedom to do research work, lecturing work. And apart from that, I'm a writer, I'm a speaker, I'm a STEM activist, and I really wanted to do something of my own, education consultancy. So all these things I have to balance if I go alone. So
Okay.
that's what I,
Right.
that's my.
Right. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Now, see, when she goes on and on, there are a lot of sides to her. Okay. You lecture at Open University, correct?
GISM campus.
GISM campus. Okay. You are a lecturer. Now go step by step. You're a lecturer, and okay. Now people listen. There is a lot of things that you can take from her if you hire her, because she's a 360-degree personality. So okay, now you can go on. Please introduce yourself.
Okay, like I'm a physics lecturer at GISM campus, and I'm a freelance researcher at the Open University of Sri Lanka. I'm a writer to a business magazine called Probe, and I act as a speaker in different platforms, and I'm a STEM activist, and I wish to evolve as a digital education professional, hopefully by next year. And apart from that, I do educational consultancy.
Okay. Anything more?
That's the six roles that I'm right
Okay.
playing.
And you mentioned about Professor Rosa. Um, give my regards to him. I
Yes.
know him personally because he and I met at the SLTC campus in occasion. We spoke a lot. He used to come to SLTC to teach. He normally take the ground floor and teach. I have listened to certain lectures with regards to Professor Rosa. I heard that he's away from the island, but is he back again?
I recently I didn't talk to him, so I don't know his
Okay,
whereabouts.
right. Uh, Doctor, what's your family background?
Mm, tell you the truth, like I'm a little bit conservative person, because I really respect my privacy, Dr. Travis, and that's why like there are very little or no mention about my family in my social media platforms. But I
Mhm.
would like to ask a question from you. You have hope you have heard like behind every successful man there is a woman. So how about the other way around? Have you thought the other way around? Behind every successful woman, who is there?
Wow.
So, so
Okay.
normally the answer, like I mean, all the feminists and all these people, they give the answers behind every successful woman is herself. But I would
Hmm.
like to add something. Addition, a task force. So my task force is my family, and I'm very blessed to have a very supportive family. And my family
Exactly.
consists of my mother, father, brother, husband, mother-in-law, and my little daughter.
Wow. Precise. Precise.
Yeah.
Right. The other thing is, what kind of a message that you can give to to women in physics or women in management. We call it. There's a hot topic going on. Women in management, equal rights, and all that,
Hmm.
doctor. But what is? I mean, you a mom, a wife, a daughter to a very loving family. How you manage all this? You know, with your profile, professional profile. You're a lecturer. You're a researcher in physics. Um, how can you manage all this, and what's your message to people out there, especially women?
Hmm. What I can say is I have said it in other talks as well. I have three P's and four D's. So
Okay,
three P's stand for, this is for all genders, not especially women. Like it,
sure, sure.
three P's stands for patience, persistence, and perspiration. Patience, persistence, and perspiration, three P's. And my four D's, I'll elaborate on it. I believe, like, if you wanted to go, if you wanted to achieve something, Dr. Travis, you should have a dream. So that's my first D.
Absolutely.
So if you have a dream, is that enough? No, you should have a burning desire to achieve that dream. So that's my second D. And do you think, if you have dreams and if you have the desire, what can you do? You have to have determination to move forward. So that's the third D. And once you have the dreams, desire, and the determination, finally, what will it shape? It will shape your destiny. So 4D: dreams, desire, determination, and destiny. 3 P's: patience, persistence, and perspiration. So those are my ingredients in life that I'm trying right now as well.
Very proud of you. Very proud of you. And see, people who are watching this, you're with MOCT Live with Dr. Hashan Travis Apatantri, 3 Ps and
4Ds.
4Ds. Right now, it's here in this YouTube little piece that we are doing together. Doctor, my question, I'm always curious about this. By 2030, let's project 9 years ahead. Where will you be?
Earlier, I have mentioned I'm a meticulous person, so I have to mention that I have plan ahead. Actually, like from 2000 up to 2030, I have planned my life. If my plans works well according to my personal plan, I will be a digital educational professional, other than my other working five roles that I have mentioned earlier. And what I will do is, like, I will be like guiding the aficionados of physics in next generations. Along with it, I will do some of the STEM popularization in the world.
Wow. You'll be here in Sri Lanka or you'll be abroad?
Most probably in Sri Lanka, according to our family planning methods and the family oriented business work are there.
Wow, okay. So it's mapped. So she knows
Yes.
what's going to happen in 2030 to her. Okay. Doctor,
Hmm.
my other question is physics, the development of physics in 2030 or beyond,
Hmm.
where will it heading to right now?
Uh, what I can say is, like,
Any
it is
innovations that are going to come?
right now, like most of the time, what I can say is it will be into the nano form. It will be much smaller,
Uh-huh.
smaller version. Like it will be very minute quantity. And the nanophysics is one of the areas that is emerging. And
Hmm.
the effects can be seen in different areas, from space rocket engineering to weather forecasting, because physics is everywhere. So the nanotechnological advances will be high
Okay.
in by the time that you mentioned, by 2030. And I believe some of the projections, according to the compared to the other professions,
Right.
the average job growth of physics is in a moderate growth compared to the other professions of the world.
Okay.
It will be like the average net growth of the physics subject area will be like 8% to 15%,
Hmm.
compared. Talking about this decade,
Hmm.
2020 to 2030. So it's compared to the other job arenas, it is much going. I mean, it is expanding at a much faster rate,
Right.
and most of the time it will be with the hybrid, and basically it will be nano-based applications.
Oh, so it's going to be major development that's going to happen in 2030 and beyond.
Yep.
So nano physics is the future. So
Nanophysics plus artificial intelligence, robotics, all those areas that is associated with it.
so basically, rise of the machines will take over most
Mm,
of the rise of the machines. Now already we are there.
mm,
In 2021, you can see we are now just inches away. Though you stay in somewhere else, I stay in somewhere else. But with regards to connectivity, we are just inches away. From me to your distance is about 6 centimeters right now, because you and I are connected via a stream
mm,
platform. So very soon, you can talk to people in other formats as well. Meaning the technology is overtaking the traditional network.
mm,
Um, Doctor, I mean, when technology advances, the education as well advancing, right? Now, I have a question. We are advancing rapidly, but the education system is not changing. It's the same thing that we learned over decades ago. I mean, I see a big gap there, because what you is talking about right now, because you read a lot, you listen to a lot of lectures, you go into a lot of research, but same physics that been taught in 1960s to 70s to 80s to 90s remains in the textbooks,
mm.
right? And when they come out from O levels and A levels, especially younger kids, huh? They think, oh, what is this we are learning? These basics. But there's a huge development happening outside the textbook. Now, is education has to change, or it has to be like this?
No, it's. I believe it's changing at a snail speed, according to my opinion, because our education system is based on exam-centered, result-oriented nature. But once you go outside the system and have a look at it, it has to be not like that. Exam-oriented nature is a part of it. I mean, I mean, why we have to produce a particular product which is
Correct.
not only filled with the knowledge, it also has to be with skills and other qualities. Now, for example, if
Practice.
we are, yeah, practical knowledge, yes, there is a gap between the theoretical knowledge and the practical knowledge, and we as academics, like, we should try to reduce that gap in between. So what I normally suggest is, like, you should I mean, as one person you can't change the system. So what I normally say is, like, I'm kind of a change agent in education. I try to raise my voice in such platforms and say, okay, this is shall we'll try to do it one by one. And then, I mean, we know there's a problem, so without shouting and complaining and saying, okay, this is not working, let's try from ground level. We'll try to change it by ourselves. Now you can start with your own kids, and you can then the spreading of knowledge can be done in a different way. So it's like that you can create a learning environment inside you. I mean, not only textbooks, you can do the hands-on experience. I mean, can you remember the things that we did in when we were kids, Dr. Travis? Like, I used to climb trees. we
Correct.
used to we used to play with dust, and we do a lot of things, and some of the artistic finger fine motor skills were work are really
Absolutely.
less in
Yep.
this present generation
Generation.
kids.
Correct.
They are just typing, and that's all. Like, okay, you must have seen the moral values deterioration. They have reduced the
Correct.
socialization skills.
Yeah.
So without blaming, I mean, we can start from our family, and then, like, to try to spread the message. That's as a
Doctor, I
change
mean,
agent.
can you propose right now what kind of changes that should happen to the current physics education stream?
Now, because to be honest, Dr. Travis, I did three times A levels, so I learned from three physics people and also from my school teacher. So I learned physics from four different people, and even
Okay.
in the university, I learned from many academics. What I felt is that we have been taught physics in a different way, because normally the theoretical concepts are given and then we are given the examples. Okay, here are the practical applications. But we are, I mean, that's what I called as forward analysis method. But what I did was I tried to do something different. That means I tried to apply backward analysis. That means when I look into the normal nature and look at the things, then wondered I wondered, okay, where can I apply this physics principle in the reality? So that
Right.
application should be backward. So like, we have to wonder, like, some I have given some of my examples in other stuff also, like some of the concepts like the streamlines, Bernoulli's theorem. Those were like clicked to my mind when my salon lady was cutting my hair, because the streamlines of where I was going here and then, and even when I was making a cup of tea, only then only I got to know, okay, these are the contact angles, the velocity, the viscous velocity, everything. Those things came backward because I applied it backwards, and that's why I think I felt the beauty of physics, because I applied backward analysis other than forward analysis as we were taught. So the pumping of knowledge should be done in both ways. That's what I feel as a physicist. Sorry, I can't hear you. I cannot hear you, Dr. Rice. Hmm.
Minute. Can you hear me
Now,
now?
yeah,
Okay.
loud and clear.
Right. The thing is that we were talking about the education system then has to be extremely practical. That's
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah, hands on. Along with that, our children should be not like pressurized into certain exams. Like, I mean, if you notice, our teachers are stick to the syllabus, our
Hmm.
academics are stick to the degree program. Other than that, the student should be able to learn in an unpressurized way. So then only he or she can develop other skills like critical thinking, leadership, motivational, the soft skills, along with some entrepreneurial skills. So, I mean, our students are much more pressurized and they have all sorts of problems in the world while learning. I mean, learning has to be done in a non pressurized, creative, practical way. So then it will be very interesting.
Okay. Okay. So one last question before we wind up, because it's timing, it's very close to 10 o'clock in the night.
Okay.
Um, I mean, if the education has to be practical, meaning the practitioners has to teach the subject. Am I right?
Yes. I mean,
Not.
you can't, practitioners,
I mean,
sorry.
if the subject is going to be more practical, practitioners or the
Hmm.
practical orientation should come from the lecturers.
Yes.
Okay.
100%
So
agree.
that's the future of any
Yes.
education system, and especially to physics. If the
Yes.
kids like physics, in the most practical way it's been presented, then this
Hmm.
gap that we are talking about can be closed. And physics is something that you must learn because
Yes.
it's a very exciting subject, and the current system has to change, the education
Yes.
system.
And
Doctor,
even in
before,
this, and
yeah,
even yeah, and even what I like to give us a message, Dr. Travis, like most of the time what I have felt is that our younger generation lacks the guidance, support and the attention from the relevant parties when they are trying to like think do the subject selection until
hmm,
the career planning. So
right.
what my advice is, like, you should try to find your passion. I found it in some after some time. But if you can find your passion, and then if you can convert your passion into profession, then life will be much more enjoyable.
Okay. Um, Last question. What is that message that you are going to give it to the youth?
Mm. Uh, it all depends on what you practice today. I mean, talk to your heart, tap your heart, and say, are you a person who always practice anger, complaining all the time with frustrated and irritated mind? You will be, once you practice it, you will be good at it. But instead of that, I really like our younger generation and the audience. If you can practice daily about happiness, joy, positive thinking, peace, and all, you will have a better life. And to quote, I can normally, this is a little bit of a line that I say from Stay the Same song from Joey McCartney. Can I sing a little bit?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, let's see, because it's some of what I have wanted to say, and I really would like to end the talk in an unconventional way as well, Dr. Trice. Let's see. Don't you ever wish you were someone else? You were meant to be the way you are exactly. Don't you ever say you don't like the way you are. When you learn to love yourself, you're better by far. And I hope you always stay the same. 'Cause there's nothing about you I would change. No, there's nothing about you I would
Oh my
change.
gosh. Okay.
Thank you so much.
That was amazing. That was amazing. I mean, see, when you enjoy what you do, when you enjoy a topic or stream of life, you life you get it. You need to wait for it. You need to wait till a human life is being occurred, and when you get that life, you need to enjoy it to the maximum, and you need to enjoy the topic that you've been selected to take your life through, and every minute, every millisecond, if you can indulge in that, if you can dine with it, if you can go to breakfast with that topic, you can sleep with that topic. um, well, this is the enjoyment that um, one can put it out. I mean, look at her face. It's
Mhm,
the same smile that was there at 9 o'clock, and to 10 o'clock that was there, that is there, right?
mhm.
See, parents, before we wind off, doctor, advise our parents, please, because they are stuck today with these various challenges that is happening. Sometimes they lose focus with regards to their kids. They don't know what kids are good at. Some parents have a beautiful track of their kids, but fail to recognize the path. As a parent, your turn to advise the next. I mean, the next generation parents.
Dr. Travis, what I can say is you can guide your child, because now, for example, we can see the parental pressure can be readily seen in the subject selection for A levels after just after the release of O levels, and most of the time the kids do for the sake of the parents' wish, but it should not be there. Like I mean, sometimes the parents try to get what they couldn't achieve through their child's future. But I mean, what I want is, please don't pressurize your child, because try to help and unearth the hidden talents of your child, because things have changed. There are so many options, and just help him or her as a guide. Don't influence.
Right. Every person who came here advised the same: don't influence,
Mm,
guide them. But at a particular moment, we forget to guide them.
mm,
We
yeah.
try to direct them, make them obey to what we want to, right? But intelligent parents don't do that. They
Mhm.
love the kid to grow
Sure.
and guide them always, fine tune them, right? Criticize constructively, then they get
Yeah.
to their head, right? Okay, doctor, it's sharp 10 o'clock, right? We are just few seconds away from of hitting Saturday 10 o'clock, 6th of November. Thank you very much. It's an honor, privilege to have you on this show. You brightened the whole piece today. And
Okay.
within the next couple of minutes, your YouTube video will be ready, and it will be on all platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn. And you can share it among anyone that is interested to listen to this. And I'm, of course, sure after this, people will be logging in. Most of the viewership happens after the whole program.
Okay.
And people who are watching right now live via Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, well, this piece will be there forever. And there's a lot of advice. I'm going to listen this to all over again from the beginning. Every time when I finish something, there's so much to learn. So I have learned, and I when I started the program, I unlearned myself, and now I'm learned, right, from an
Okay.
eminent, brilliant personality of Sri Lanka. So, Doctor, thank you very much of taking my invitation without any hesitation, and you being a very friendly person who's enjoy your
Mm.
work a lot. I
Yeah.
wish you all the best. Stay safe, and may God bless you. And
Yeah.
good night.
Thank you so much, Dr. Travis, for the given opportunity as well. And I believe this is a different platform that I can address different kind of levels of the society. So, and I hope you may grow more and more in this mock talk as well. Oh, thank you
Humbly
so
say
much.
thank you.
Good
Thank you,
night.
Doctor. Right.
Good
Good
night.
night. So, well, let her go, and that's the end of the show, people. And that's Dr. Chathurie Nupearchchi, who's just signed off from by leaving a valuable footprint altogether with regards to our show. So, with that, we're going to conclude the whole event, and there's a lot of challenges to be won. Um, there are streets ahead with regards to the whole platform. So let me leave you with that, and let me see what I can do. Um, just give me a minute. I need to put this on. Hold on. When you hear this, you know exactly how it feels, right? It's um, the theme song of the theme music of MOCT, and they're seeing you again next Saturday, 9 o'clock, because everyone requests me to um, make sure that the 9 o'clock will be on. So here I am, signing off for today. MOCT Live, the ninth episode, just finished. So all the best, good luck, and may God bless you.